A very warm welcome back here from the European Cricket League, live from Manga Club in Spain. With me in the commentary box, I'm Philipp Bechstedt, but with me in the commentary box is Vinny Sandhu.
And Phil, it's a pleasure to be here at the European Cricket League Day 2 action. This is match 9 of the tournament. It's T10 cricket. It's fast-paced. There's been balls flying, wickets flying everywhere so far on Day 2. Earlier we saw the first 100 ever in ECL history, but now we've got the pleasure of calling the clash between Svanholm Cricket Club, who are the champions of Denmark, and they will be taking on the Romanian champs Cluj. So let's go down to Yadav with the two captains.
All right, time for toss now. I've got the two captains on my left and the match referee. I've got Zishan Shah from Svanholm and Arun from Cluj Cricket Club. So I think, are you guys ready? Yes. Yeah? Okay, so if you could give him the coin. And Arun, it's going to be your call. Heads. Heads is what Arun called. And tails it is. Congratulations on winning the toss. So what do you decide?
We want to have a ball first, yeah.
Okay, and why do you want to bowl first?
It's just to see the condition, because after so many matches on the pitch, I'd rather see the pitch, and then we know how to play afterwards.
Have you watched the first two matches? Because actually you can't really tell a lot, you're right, because the first match, they scored 160 plus. In the second, there was a big collapse of the batting order.
So it's, yeah, exactly what you say. It's difficult to say how the pitch will play and all that, so it will give us a chance to have a look at it, and then we can go on.
And of course you're coming from a win, so any positives from that?
Yeah, we don't want to change actually our strategy. We have seen those teams how they play and which area they're hitting, so we have a plan of how we're going to attack them like yesterday. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I wish you all the best.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And if I can quickly have Arun over. Arun, I know the first game was really tough. That was a big match. But, I mean, what do you do when one batsman decides to just take away the game? There's nothing that the opposition can do, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good toss to lose, honestly. And because what is so important now, keep the heads up, head high, and finish on the high note. And we need to execute our plans, what we discuss outside the dressing room in the field. That's the only thing what is left to do.
And after the tough loss, what kind of a chatter did you have in the dressing room?
We need to the length we bowl. That's something we discuss with the bowlers during the break, and I think the bowlers are ready for the grab. And also you play different type of teams. When you look at the opposition, if you bowl in a good length, for a certain team it's a good area, for a certain team it's not. So that's also something we need to adapt in between. So this is what we spoke.
Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you all the very best.
So there we are, the news from down on the ground. It was the Svanholm skipper from Denmark, Zishan Shah. He won the toss and elected to bowl. So Cluj, the Romanian champions, will be batting first in this one, and they'll be looking to bounce back as we look at the Group A table. Cluj still yet to open their account. Svanholm have only played the one match so far. It was a comfortable win, but they do need to get this win to shore up the second position and make the top two, who will play off in the semi-finals tomorrow, Phil.
Absolutely, and of course there's going to be a major match this evening, Rotterdam against Svanholm. So if Svanholm actually wins this game against Cluj, then there's a little group final happening tonight.
Yes, of course, the fancied teams from the Netherlands and Denmark. It's been a high standard of cricket at times here, the European Cricket League. And earlier this morning, we had a look at this wicket, and what a nice wicket it is at the Manga Club in Spain. There's plenty of sunshine and a good covering of grass on the wicket, so something in it for the bowlers early. But it's pretty flat, and as the day goes on, it's getting harder and harder. It's good for batting, and the dimensions of this field with the 50-metre boundaries, Phil, it's just been a run fest at times with batsmen clearing it almost at will.
I'm just so glad that we are the couple
the commentary couple that witnessed the century. This
Oh, what a moment that was. If we look at the Cluj Cricket Club from Romania, led by their captain, Aaron Chandrasekaran, with Rajendra Pisal, Mohammed Ahmed, Pavel Florin. We saw him take part at the bowling crease earlier today. The keeper batted through the last innings, Satvik Natigodla, then Siva Perialwa, Vasu Saini, Taranjit Singh will figure with bat and ball, then Gaurav Narad, Gaurav Mishra, and Sukaran Sahi. That's Cluj. And then Phil, tell us a little bit about the Svanholm Club.
Yeah, I mean, Svanholm Cricket Club, it got founded in 1956 and they've been champions for so many years. And now this is the team: Eugene Molion, James Fenwick, Ataullah, Sishan Shah, Shoaib Rashid, Saud Munir, Sishan Khan, Johannes Henriksen, Mads Henriksen, Abdul Hashimi, and Tokir Ahmad. Henriksen, these two are quite handy with the bat. They are usually coming in at 1 and 3. So we'll see what they come up with this time.
Yes, we're definitely looking forward to seeing the Henriksen brothers in action. Now, Cluj coming off a heavy loss in the last game. They were getting hit over the boundary at will by the Drua batsman, particularly Ahmed Nabi. But that's the great thing about this format, the T10 format. Anything can happen. Look, you can have a terrible game, but you've got the opportunity to come back almost straight away. You have to back up. The score starts at 0 again, and hopefully they can put on a better performance against Svanholm as they come onto the field.
There they are. And, I mean, after Cluj only scored 69 against Drew, of course, it would be a psychological idea to send them into bat. But then again, you've got Taranjat Singh and Nadigotla Satwing. Nadigotla, he was in for quite a bit in the last innings, and Taranjat Singh, he scored 42 against Rotterdam. And they definitely have a good bowling side.
Yes, Taranjit Singh, unlucky to miss out with the bat, has comically run out as Alexandre Hakuk from France hit one stump, and poor Taranjit, he went off for the run. He dropped his bat and couldn't make his crease, so it summed up really the Romanians' day in the first game they played this morning. They just didn't get any luck. But the great thing about cricket, there's always a new day, a new game. As the openers come out to the crease, Satvik Natigodla, fresh off batting 10 overs in the earlier game, so he should have his eye in. And batting with him, yes, as we said, Taranjit Singh, he'll be hoping to come back from that run-out dismissal as he takes guard. And Phil, if you're Cluj here, what's your approach, especially in the first 3 overs? They're probably a little bit rattled from their last batting performance, but do you think they still have to be aggressive and look for those boundaries early?
Well, first of all, they have nothing to lose, so I think they will be more aggressive. But well, I think they also want to have a respective innings, so they don't want to get bowled out before the 10 overs. I think that's their main target. And let me just show the little appreciation, a big appreciation to the umpires. We have Martin Hancock and Andrew Scow. And the third umpire is Wasim Dar. The scorers, Mohamed Latif and Dharmendra Manani, just to appreciate that.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are making this happen. It's been a long time in the making, the initial European Cricket League tournament, the T10 format, all action, all the time. And Philipp Bachstadt, as a former German international, you'd be pretty excited about this new competition for the European players to aspire to.
Well, I played some semi-professional cricket in England and played with their keeper, who's still keeping in the ODIs, Frederik Klokker. Greetings to Denmark, Freddie.
Nice to see Danish cricket in a good state. And Svanholm, they do have the turf wicket in Denmark, and that's great experience. The Scandinavians, a lot of interest there from the homegrown Danish players, as well as those that are new to the country from all parts of the world, as we get ready for Mads Henriksen, who's going to open the bowling from the Las Acacias end. Here comes the first ball of Game 9. That's edged away, flying towards third man. It'll beat the fielder. And 4 runs. Just the start there for Taranjit, and Cluj are on the ball. It's 4 for none.
Excellent stuff. And just to talk a little bit about the Danish cricket, I mean, you can see that Svanholm, it was founded in 1956. That's more history than most of European countries have in terms of cricket. And this club, as many others, they have a big history, a big pool of players. They coach in schools and also in other clubs.
Mads Henriksen in again. This is short, outside off stump, punched back off the back foot. A straight pull shot there from Taranjit. And the fielding done by the bowler. Yes, they've had a lot of success, Svanholm. They have 27 Danish national championships, including winning 6 straight between 1978 and 83, and 12 straight between 1991 and 2002.
They're a little bit like the Bayern Munich in football in Germany.
12 straight. I guess they just never get sick of winning, and why would you? As Mads Henriksen comes in again. This is short again, pulled through mid-wicket. It's going to beat the field. The chase is on, but to no avail. That's another boundary. And Cluj off with a bang. The second boundary to Taranjit.
It's a completely different game for Cluj. I get the impression they really want to attack here. And Singh has the ability, and he's shown that against good bowling, he can perform.
He'd be hungry for runs in this third and final group match for Cluj. He threw it away, really, the run out. I mean, he was unlucky to drop the bat, but he was very lackadaisical in the first half of that run in the earlier match today. This time short outside off stump, beaten for pace and bounce. Taranjit, 4-4 this over. As we see that ball jumping off a length, a nice, tall young gentleman with a strong action, extracting the bounce out of the wicket.
So that was an away cutter, I would say, right? Can you tell us how to do a cutter as a fast bowler? It's like spin bowling, isn't it?
Well, it's more pulling down on the left-hand side of the ball if you're trying to bowl a leg cutter, as Henriksen comes in again. Short on the up stump, pushed away. Be out if he hits. Satwik Natagodla. No interest in putting in the big ones. More interested in admonishing his batting partner there, Taranjit. Wasn't sure if there was a run there. Communication so important between the batsmen as it's pushed to point. And he wasn't even in the shot. Satwik Natagodla almost out without facing a ball.
You have to run the first one quickly, and I think they should have learned from the last game.
Got to run the first half quickly even. As Henriksen in again for the final ball of the over. Cutaway down to third man. So Natagodla is off the mark. It's the end of the over. A good one for Cluj. They are 10 for no loss.
Yeah, and of course, you've got some highlight in history of Danish cricket. You have Ole Stan Mortensen, who has been coaching at the end of his career, also my team, the German national team. Fast bowler for Derbyshire from 1983 to 1994 with 434 first-class wickets, average of 23.8. So, yeah, he's played for Denmark from 79 to 94, and he was one of the 2 big guys in Danish cricket. But we'll come to the second one in a minute. Now, it's Atta Ulla.
Atta Ulla going to open the bowling from the Las Lomas end. Las Lomas translating to the hills, and we see the beautiful hills and the Manga resort in the background. Natagodla on strike. This is full and straight. Natagodla works it away to the deep mid-wicket for one. And yes, Philip, we're talking about Danish cricket and some of the names that have impacted the game from Denmark.
Yes, I mean, a 1980-born Amjad Khan, of course. He was an English test cricketer. In 2009, he played against the West Indies during the series, played for Kent for 9 years and for Sussex for 2 years.
Ulla in again. Outside off stump, length ball, pitched up, gets sent. It's a Maximo! the first 6 of the innings, and it comes from the man, Taranjeet Singh. And didn't the spectators enjoy that one as it was pitched up, hit over the cover field, all the way for 6. Wide of the crease, front foot down the wicket. He got most of that.
Oh!
Next ball was outside off stump, attempted run down to third man, but no contact taken by the keeper. And that's Abdul Hashmi, the Danish wicketkeeper, standing up to the stumps, which of course is a skill which I appreciate, especially to the opening bowler. Not an easy skill, especially with the new ball swinging and moving around. Ula in again, this time a good length ball outside off stump, guided away down to third man where Takir Ahmed does the fielding. Yes, Phil, this is a much better start from the Romanians. Of course, in the first 3 overs, only 2 outfielders allowed, so you have to get off to a good start. Ryan Campbell calls it 63 hits in T10 cricket. This is punched towards mid-off. Natagodla goes through for the single.
But I guess it's all up in the head. I mean, they had to chase such a big total in the last game with this one guy scoring 105 in his innings. So it was almost impossible, let's face it. And now they have a fresh start. The brain is clear and off we go.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point made there by Philip Buckstad. Starting a new game, new possibilities.
Oh.
The final ball of the over is clubbed down to long on by Taranjeet. He'll keep the strike, and at the end of the second over, it's 20 for no loss. And Phil with 10 off the first and 10 off the second over. Cluj giving a much better account of themselves in this third and final of their group games.
Absolutely, and we witnessed that the run rate is usually going up as long as the batsmen stay in. So yeah, we could think about 100 plus total here.
I think they'd be aiming for 100 as a minimum here. We've seen anything under 100 is very difficult to defend with these small boundaries. As Mads Henriksen is going to bowl his second and final over from the Las Acacias end. Taranjeet on strike. It whips him off the pad, going down leg side, but it evades the wicketkeeper Hashmi, who dives to his right but cannot cut it off. It's going to be 4 leg byes.
And we talked about this a lot. These 3 first overs are power play, so you can only have 2 outside of the inner circle. Whether you take a pace bowler, where things like this can happen, or whether you take spin.
Yes, and so those runs go down as extras, so they won't show in Henriksen's figures as he's in again. It's short, pulled just over the fielder. The chase is on, but that's going to reach the boundary. So 4 carreras, 4 more runs to Cluj. It was Shoaib Rashid there at mid-wicket who thought he had a chance. He took off, but perhaps mistimed the jump. He was on the way down as the ball went past him. It was Jonas Henriksen came along the deep mid-wicket boundary to try and make the save, but he wasn't able to. So 28 for no loss in the third over. Solid start here for the Romanians.
What you can see with the Danish team, they keep calm still now. They keep calm. They know they also can bat.
Always composed of the Danish as Mads Henriksen in again. This is pulled away. 1 bounce, 4 runs. So Taranjeet Singh, he's a man on a mission. Back-to-back boundaries off Henriksen. And with 2 balls left in this over, it's already gone for 12. And Cluj up to 32 for no loss. Great shot there as he rocked onto the back foot. Henriksen has been a little bit short. Beaten Taranjeet for pace on occasions, but perhaps a little bit predictable with the length. This is a little bit fuller. Angling down the leg side. It's off the leg. Another leg by.
If he had moved a little quicker, he could have had a wide there.
Perhaps, yeah. Of course, your first instinct as a batsman is to try and hit the ball, so not always easy, especially against the paceman. In top-class cricket, the batsman often has half a second or less to react, so many things to consider when you're facing a pace bowler. 2 to come this over.
Aja!
Next ball on a good length, but worked away nicely by Nadikotla. Wide of the third man. Bit of an errant return, but 1 run scored. So Taranjeet Singh, we talked about his unfortunate dismissal as he was run out by that. Let's talk about the fielding as well. In the former game, as it was Harkuk from Dreux that ran him out, only had 1 stump to aim at. So credit to the fielder for that piece of cricket, but Taranjeet Singh has come out and really looks to be trying to set up his team for a big score, 100 plus, 120 plus. Henriksen again. Last ball of the over. It's a Yorker length ball, but called no ball. The umpire making the signal. Most likely that is for overstepping. In cricket, if the bowler steps over that front line in his delivery action, it is not a legal delivery. Randy runs off that will count, and there's a 1-run penalty for that.
And
but it
it's
means
a free hit.
Oh yeah, free hit, which means except for run out, the batsman cannot be dismissed off this delivery, so they can really wind up with no fear of being dismissed. Last ball of the over. It's full and crunch. Past Zishan at mid-off. Drilled to the boundary. Fantastic bit of timing there from Taranjeet. Henriksen will be disappointed. A bit of an error there from the Dane as he overstepped, gifting the Romanians a free hit. And that race to the boundary. So 24 conceded by Mads Henriksen in his 2 overs. And Romania, after the 3-over power play, a 39 for no loss.
You see the body language of the Cluj players there. It's just a completely different story to the other game. And that, of course, gives some respect to the Danish players.
Well, that's right, and full credit to the Romanians. Coming back, resetting mentally after the earlier loss. Ataullah commences the 4th over. It's up, it's in the air, is a chance, and taken. So Satwik Nadagodla, he batted through the 10 overs of their previous match without being dismissed, but here he is dismissed off the first ball of the 4th over. It was pitched up on middle and leg from Ataullah, just angling into the batsman. Lofted all the way to Mads Henriksen, who's just finished his 2 overs. The ball followed him. He took a good catch. So after the first ball of the 4th over, it's 39 for 1 on the replay.
Yeah, and it was a good catch. Easy in the end, but he got into position well. And of course, if you are underneath the ball, then it just goes down your throat. And with soft hands, you have no problem.
That's right. Well, it has helped to be in the right position, of course. And you've got millions of people watching in TV. There's no such thing as an easy catch. We've seen a few spilt this week. Batsman did cross. So Taranjeet on strike. It's full and straight, defended back to the bowler. Good ball there from Ullah. The new batsman is Vasu Saini, coming in at number 3. We've talked about him before. From Saharanpur in India. Met his now lovely wife in Romania. They got married in India. Now they live in Romania full time and got into cricket. Had a very good season for them in 2018. This one is cracked from a length. Oh, this is huge. It's huge. It's a Maximo. Taranjeet Singh taking that off a length from Ataullah. He got under it and he got all of it. Philip Bakstad, this is one of the biggest hits we've seen.
Absolutely, and I am tempted to call it Maximo.
Oh, don't we love that? Why wouldn't you be happy to be in this part of the world on the south coast of sunny Spain, bringing cricket to Europe? Ataullah tries again. There's a chance. And he's gone. So Taranjeet Singh, after hitting a massive 6, he hits the next one straight down the throat of the long on. So disappointing there for Cluj. As poor Taranjeet, just shows you how quick things can change. A good comeback from the bowler. Give credit to him. It was a good length ball on off stump. Taranjeet decided to try and repeat the dose. But the other Henriksen brother, it was Jonas Henriksen there at long on, took the catch on the replay thanks to NEP.
And unfortunately, that definitely is a blow to Cluj because their openers have performed so far and now they're gone. So now, psychologically speaking, it's all at 0 again.
Well, that's right. So Siva Perialwa comes to the crease. Right-hander, 30 years of age. And that's disappointing for Taranjeet. They were putting a lot of hopes on him.
Absolutely.
It's always the debate internally as a batsman. If you've hit a really good 6 or a really good shot, do you try and ramp it up and continue with another big shot on the back, or you're a little bit more careful, protect your wicket? But in this T10 format, I think generally they're going to take the aggressive option.
Oh!
Perialwa on strike this time. Batsman did not cross. Chops down to short third man. He is off the mark. I
mean, playing premeditated shots is always dangerous, but in 10-10 you have no other option than to premeditate. But you still have to watch the ball until it's in your comfort zone, until you can actually hit it. And that's where people mostly get out.
Basu Saini to face his first delivery.
Oh, south.
This is pushed towards cover. Saud Munir does the fielding. Some thought of a run by the batsman, but they make the sensible decision to not take it. That is the end of the over, and it's 46 for 2 after 4 overs. And what a great time we've had here in La Manga. Staying at the La Manga Club and Resorts. The facilities here, fantastic. The weather, amazing. An average rainfall this time of year of 0. And definitely there's plenty of places in the world where that isn't the case, as we saw the recent Cricket World Cup in England.
That's
a little
true.
bit rain affected.
I went to one game, traveled all the way from Germany, just to witness 30 minutes of South Africa, West Indies, and then the game got called off. But we had a very nice time at the hotel upstairs.
So with 4 overs down, 46 for 2. Change of bowling at the Las Acacias end. It's Takir Ahmed. First ball swing and a miss. Siva Perialwa not making contact with that one. Takir hopefully can continue the momentum for the Danish team. Perialwa on strike. Short. Reasonably straight ball, worked off Midland leg by Perialwa behind point. And they'll scramble through for a single. So it's a real crossroads now, this game. Cluj had a strong start. The 2 wickets in the over for Atta Ullah, changing the momentum of the game. We've seen this time and time again in this T10 format, Phil. The game, although short, it has its ebbs and flows. The momentum can change several times. Next ball wraps Saini on the pad. Behind square leg. They'll get through for a leg bye.
At least keep the scoreboard ticking and keep the fielders moving, because it's very hot now. It's probably the hottest time of day.
This ball is full, dug out by Perialwa. Good bowling there by Takir Ahmed. He's not the quickest, but he seems to be locating the ball in good areas, making it difficult for the batsman. That Yorker length ball, if you can get it right, it's a difficult one to get away over the boundary. That one nice and full. Perialwa watchfully playing it back to the bowler. Back live, big string, and he's given him.
And he's walking, which is great.
And Siva Perialwa tried to swing that one over mid-wicket. It was a little inside edge and well taken by Abdul Hashmi. Had to dive low and to his left. He kept his eye on the ball. So a good piece of wicket keeping too. Standing back from Abdul Hashmi. So Siva Perialwa just never really got going in that innings. He faced 5 balls, scored 2 before being caught behind. So Takir Ahmed gets some reward for his bowling to this point. Just generally been in good areas, and Romania now stuttering at 48 for 3. As we see on the replay, just a fine inside edge. And for those of you new to cricket, even if you hit it a tiny bit, you are at risk of being caught. Clear sound and deflection there. Ahmed again. So wraps him on the pad down to short fine leg. The umpire will call a leg by. It's Gaurav Mishra, the new batsman. And that is the end of the over. It's 49 for 3. So the run rate is acceptable. It's almost 10 and over. They'll be looking to score 100 plus at the halfway point of the innings. The concern, I suppose, Philip, the 3 wickets at this point, do they have the batting depth to take this deep, to get the boundaries they need to put a winning score on the board?
Absolutely, but Cluj was dependent on their opening pair, I'm sure.
This one, hit back to the bowler, dropped catch, chance of a run out. The throw a little bit high. And the new bowler there, Zishan Khan, in the action immediately, as we'll see that shortly for you on the replay. Thanks to NEP, that one was drilled back at the bowler. He was only able to just get his hands to it. As he's in again. This is a big swing. Half an appeal as it beat the inside edge and missed leg stump. So Gaurav Mishra trying hard to keep the momentum going as we have a look on the replay. This one just missed the leg stump.
That was so close.
Coat of varnish, as we say, and the beautiful stumps there, thanks to our partners at Sticky Wicket. They look magnificent. This one is a big swing and inside edge down to deep backward square leg. The fielding's done by Shoaib Rashid on the boundary. Getting round to that smartly.
Textbook shot.
Well, it's in some of the textbooks that I might have read when it comes to batting. Just lifting their head and having a good hard swing at the ball. It's Khan in again. This is lifted over mid-wicket, drop kicked. It's high, it's a Maximo. Fantastic shot there.
I love the move there of the umpire.
Oh, didn't he love it too? And why wouldn't you here on the south coast of Spain? European cricket on display. This ball just straying a little bit to leg stump, and Vasu Saini picked that up over the fielder for 6 of the best.
I mean, he was opening up his hips and he was actually clearly hitting that to the onside. A perfect shot.
That was a real cricket shot. That's what I liked about that, Phil. He played the ball where it was bowled. It was straight on leg stump, and that's where he put it. Khan again, this time short, down the field. Club to long on, a bit of a bottom edge drag down the ground.
The only argument I would say that speaks against putting yourself into bowling is this heat. Because afterwards when you bat, you're a bit knackered, right?
Well, it can be that way. Of course, the Mediterranean sun having an impact on the players as he's bowled him. Gaurav goes for 1 shot too many. This ball was on a good length, middle and off. He lifted his head, tried to hit it over the fence, but the ball crashing and middle and off stump are out of the ground. So fantastic bowling by Zishan Khan.
So maybe it's too hot for the batsman.
Oh, well, it was
Oh, yeah.
a good bit of bowling, but you see their defence not on the mind of the batsman as Gaurav Mishra was able to take 2 stumps out of the ground. We've seen that a couple of times in our earlier game. Wahid Abdul really disturbed the stumps at that end, the Lassacasius end. The wickets are scared, I think, Phil. They're under attack.
Yeah, I'm curious to know whether we are going to see more 6s and more Maximos, but I think it's getting less and less now.
Well, the wickets are a real problem as Rajendra Pisal comes to the crease. He batted admirably in their loss in the earlier game, coming in when the game was long gone, but he stuck around, hit a couple of decent shots. That's over, so Takir Ahmed's going to continue. Sliced away to point by Saini, and he'll get a single.
The problem are these cross-batted shots, you know, because you only have a little time to actually hit the ball. You only have a very small split second to actually hit it. If you have a straight bat, you have a better chance of hitting it.
Well, that's right. That's the cricket technique, which still plays a part. Next ball is full Yorker length. Played back to the bowler by Pizal. That's the first ball he's faced. So Romania, after a promising start, have hit a bit of trouble in the middle of the innings here. Takir Ahmed comes in again. He's bowled very well. He's been full and straight. This time a bit on leg stump, straying down the leg side. It only catches a bit of pad. The batsman will come through for a leg bye.
So what do you think is a realistic target now?
Well, I think with 3.5 overs, the bare minimum they should be getting is 1 a ball. So 21 runs, that would be 80. I think they probably need a few more than that. So something 90 or even approaching 100, they'll do anything to get those kind of runs. The next ball squeezed off the inside edge, down to deep backward square leg. It's Jonas Henriksson doing the fielding. A nice strong throw back to the keeper, Hashmi. But yeah, Phil, we've talked about anything under 100 being very difficult to defend. So it's a tough one for Cluj. Do they want to kind of make a conservative 80 and try and get those kind of runs, or are they going to gamble for a higher score, taking more risks as the next ball is pushed down the ground to long on? So one of my coaches always told me, if you're in doubt, always take the aggressive option in these games. So the aggressive option here would be to still try and score. Don't be satisfied just going for the singles and turning the strike over. His boundaries are going to give him a chance to win this game. Exactly what he tries here as he swings away on the leg side. But again, only one, not the timing he was looking for. That's the end of the over, and it's 62 for 4.
If you play aggressively, it's still very good to have a straight bat and not play everything cross-batted, because this is what most people start doing in Europe. They just think that everything has to be cow corner in order to be aggressive. But no, you can play proper straight drives and hit them for 4 and 6.
Absolutely, and that's to do with the mindset. So it's not just being aggressive, thinking premeditation or I've got to hit this for 6. It's having that aggressive mindset so that if the ball's in a particular area, you might target a certain area, that you're going to play that aggressive shot and take the game on. New bowler James Fenwick at the Las Lomas end.
Oh yeah, James, good start out, buddy.
It's a good ball, full and straight, hit down the ground for 1. So again, good bowling, and you got to hand it to the Danes as well. The Romanians have hit a bit of a rough patch in the middle of the innings, but the Danes have bowled well. They've been full and straight, and they've capitalised on any mistakes that the Cluj batsmen have made. Fenwick again, it's hit back over his head, all the way into the side screen for a Maximo. Great shot there, Rajendra Pizal. He's shown he can clear the boundary in the earlier game. Just what Cluj needed. This one was straight and stayed straight off the bat, bisecting the long off and long on fielder. How will Fenwick come back? It's full and outside off stump, a Yorker length ball. Played away on the offside. And a good comeback from the bowler. James Fenwick, only 22 years of age. He'll be relishing the opportunity to bowl in front of a global audience. Over 100 countries on the European Cricket Network. Wherever you're watching, whether it's on our YouTube channel or on various stations around the world, it's great to have you with us here. Fenwick in again, a good ball. Beaten outside off stump was Saini. So 70 for 4, there's 14 balls left. I still think with a bit of luck, they might go close to this 100, Phil. 2 a ball gets them to 98 from here.
He didn't have his head over the ball, and that's mostly the problem.
It was across the seam from Fenwick. This is wide, straight to cover and out. So Vasu Saini could not time that. The ball was full, it was wide outside off stump. He threw the bat at it and made contact. But straight to, looked like the skipper there. Zishan Shah, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might have been Eugene Molion. Yeah, it looks like Eugene Molion there at cover, taking the catch. We see it on the replay, thanks to our team at EDP Production, doing a great job. That one just hit head high. Fenwick's happy. He went for a Maximo earlier in the over, but came back to take a wicket. He still has a ball left in the 8th over. So Saini did bat well, but unfortunately couldn't see it through, as Muhammad Ahmed, who showed some skill with the ball in the earlier game when they were taking a hiding, taking 2 for 11 off his over. And he comes to try and right the ship with the bat for Cluj. He'll have 1 ball from Fenwick to contend with. Last ball of the 8th over coming up now. That's full on the off stump. Hit away to extra cover, so no run. That's the end of the over, and it's 70 for 5.
We have to give some credit to the Romanian team. Some of them have to travel very, very far. I mean, Cluj is basically in the heart of Transylvania, and it's around 450 kilometers away from Bucharest, where there is a stadium or a big cricket ground with a turf wicket. But that's it, and they don't have a league structure every week. They just play tournaments to basically find out who is going to be the national champion. So we have to give them credit because they're here.
Absolutely, and they've earned their right to be here by winning their national competition. And Zishan Khan, and he's bowled. He's gone straight through Rajendra Pisal with a full straight ball. He's knocked the off stump out of the ground. Great bowling from Zishan Khan, getting it done for Svanholm here against Cluj at the ECL.
Yeah, what a great ball.
Rajendra did hit 1 big Maximo on the last over, but
Again.
with 8 off 6, his contribution is limited. And again, Romania, after a promising start, just losing too many wickets, now falling to 70 for 6.
But the Yorker is always difficult to pick.
Oh, well, they've done it well, the Danes. You've got to hand it to them. Having a plan and executing it, they're 2 different things. Obviously, the plan here was to attack the stumps, to be full and straight to the Romanians. And we're really seeing perhaps their depth being tested with the bat as Gaurav Narad makes his way to the crease. We haven't seen a team bowled out within the 10 overs, if I'm not mistaken, so far in the ECL. With 6 wickets down and 2 overs remaining, let's see what happens here. This is full. Almost a no ball for being above waist height. The square leg umpire just signalling it was just below the waist. Well done by Narad to get that away for a single. It's not easy when you get those full balls that are kind of top of the pad high. You're not really looking for them. Kind of looking down towards where you think the ball's going to bounce, as we see that on the replay. A good call from the umpire. Seemed to be below the top of the pants. This next ball is whipped down to the short fine leg fieldsman. And Muhammad Ahmed turning the strike over. So as you can see, the effect of taking wickets, Phil, it's very hard for the new batsman to pick up where the established batsman left off, to make those boundaries and clear the boundaries. 9 balls remaining, the score at 72. Oh, again, a good Yorker. Narad backing away slightly, trying to slice it over cover. And if there was another stump outside the off stump, I think it would have knocked that one out of the ground, Phil.
Well, we've seen some exceptions. People who come in and immediately hit the ball, but mostly they have a very good eye and they can tee off immediately.
Well, generally, of course, in cricket, the further you go down the order, the less established the batsmen become. This next ball is on a length outside off, swing and a miss. So, Gaurav Narad struggling to put bat on ball here in the closing stages of the 9th over. With only 7 balls remaining, the score for Cluj, 72 for 6. Now they'd probably be looking at scrambling to 80, which I suppose is something to bowl at. This is the last ball of Zishan Khan. Again, strike 3. Change ends. So a fantastic over, and Zishan Khan with the figures of 2 for 10 of his 2 overs. A fantastic effort from him. And Cluj, after 9 overs, are 72 for 6.
I mean, this format of 10-10 is completely new, and I think we're both glad that the European Cricket League has been formed into a 10-10, because these matches are just so vibrant. There's so much happening, lots of runs, lots of wickets, and it's just fun commentating and watching it.
Of course. Read my mind there, Phil, as Fenwick comes in to bowl the 10th and final over. His first over went for 8, which included a 6. So James Fenwick trying to close out the innings for the Danish team, Svanholm. Their rivals in Denmark, Københavns Boldklub. Hope that they're watching and they'd be keen to be here representing Denmark next year. As the next ball's full, it's chopped into his body there, Mohammed Ahmed. They scramble through for a single.
But there's not much sprinting going on between the wickets.
I have noticed this, but this one chopped kind of into the grill of his helmet, it looked like. But of course, at this stage, you have to take every run on offer with only 4 balls remaining. So it seems unlikely they're going to get bowled out, which means every ball from here is a free hit. Gaurav Narad. He does try and hit it. He swings away to leg. Only inside edges are onto his pad. Again, away on the offside, where Zishan Shah does the fielding. So no boundaries. The boundary's drying up for Cluj here with 3 balls remaining.
Helps your voice.
On 74, Haps. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Stay calm and hit straight.
Mohammed Ahmed has a big swing. Goes to cover. It was fielded by Saud Munir. Definitely had a chance to run out the batsman if he hit, but with no one backing up, decided to be smart and hold on to the ball. Conservative decision there. Saw one stump, had a chance to be a hero. The batsman wouldn't have been in the picture, but happy to concede the single at this stage with 2 balls remaining. This time swung down the pitch and no contact. Gaurav Narad, not easy. He's more in the team for his bowling, but he's doing his best here to add to the Romanian total.
And here it comes, the last ball.
So you're Gaurav Narad now. What are you thinking? Last ball, Phil? Ramp?
He goes for it. Cross-batted, trying to hit over cow corner.
And he did exactly that, and he's bowled. Unfortunately, Gaurav Narad could not make contact. That one just clipping the off stump. So the innings comes to an end at 75 for 7. And after being 49 for 3 at halfway, they were only able to make 26 runs for 4 wickets in the second half of their innings, as we see the replay. Thanks to NEP doing a great job. All the production team here in Spain.
And can I just also express my gratefulness to Sportsy Vision, who do lots of the stats and Interact Sports, the Australian-based scoring company, and they do all the digital platforms. I mean, there's such a great team, the European Cricket League.
That's right, Phil. A lot of people behind the scenes making this concept come to life, and what a fantastic thing it is for these European cricketers representing their club and country in the effort to be the kings of cricket in Europe. It really is the Champions League of cricket in Europe, and we're excited to bring it to you here on the European Cricket Network, wherever you're watching around the world. So Cluj, after being sent in by Svanholm, and perhaps Svanholm were second-guessing their decision early as they were off to a bright start. They scored 39 in the 3-over power play for no loss.
There's my bedroom.
That's
you see it on the right there.
I know where your bedroom is. Very noisy there. Fills up to all hours, and why wouldn't you be in Spain? It's fantastic weather and fantastic facilities here. As we go through the cut, now Taranjeet Singh, the standout, he opened the batting and he made 35 runs at around 2 runs every ball, so a decent clip for Taranjeet, but he didn't have much help, if we're honest. Vasu Saini looked promising at times, scoring 11, including a 6, as did Rajendra Pizal. He was able to clear the boundary once, but the second half of their innings, they lost their way, and they were only able to score 75 in their 10 overs for the loss of 7 wickets.
And the Danes, Svanholm, Mats Hendrickson with 2 overs, 24 runs. And then, of course, we've got Tokir Ahmad, who bowled his 2 overs only for 5 runs and 1 wicket. And then Zishan Khan, 2 wickets, and James Fenwick, 2 wickets with 10 and 11 runs respectively. So very good bowling figures there.
Yes, wickets and economy very good there for the Svanholm bowlers. Coming up now, we have some highlights from the Cluj innings and the story that it was. As we said, they started brightly. Taranjeet, a bit of luck there in the first over as he was able to take Mads Henriksen for a couple of boundaries. Then he got into the act with the first 6 of the innings, showing strokes all around the ground and proper cricket shots. Pouncing on anything short there from Mads Henriksen. And then a beautiful drive over mid-off. And his stay could not be extended as he holed out to Attaullah, who was able to pick up the prize scalp of Taranjeet. And after that, there were occasional moments of brilliance for the Romanians.
Catch it! Catch it!
But
Yes, man!
there were plenty more good moments for the Danes as Romania lost wickets at regular intervals. A great piece of wicket keeping there from Abdul Hashmi, diving away to his left. Inside edges, never easy for the keeper. Romania, after a bright start, scoring 49 in their first 5 overs. Had more moments to forget in the second half. The stumps being disturbed, fiddling off out of the ground. That was a good shot there from Rajendra Pizal.
Catch it!
But another catch, Munir getting it done, and wasn't he happy about that? Celebrating to the fans here at La Manga in Spain. Another good Yorker. The Danes were very disciplined with their bowling at the death. Off stump, feeling the brunt of that delivery, and Narad not able to do too much to advance the score. He was bowled off the last ball of the 10 overs. So just confirming again, Cluj, after being sent into bat, have scored 75 from their 7 overs, which means, Philip, they will be defending that score. Svanholm require 76 off their 10 overs. We'll be right back with the Svanholm chase very shortly. Thanks, guys. Very good. welcome back here to the Manga in Spain. It's Game 9 of the inaugural European Cricket League. And we've seen Svanholm from Denmark taking on the Romanian champions Cluj. And the story of this one so far, Svanholm won the toss. They elected to field, and Romania were able to put 75 on the board. Svanholm's time to reply, and you see their team there led by their captain Zishan Shah. A couple of players to watch there, the Henriksen brothers, Mads and Jonas. They will bat in the top 3. And it'll be interesting to see if they can get going and if they can make some significant inroads early into this modest target of 76 that has been set for them. Also, Saud Munir is a player to watch. Now, the Cluj team, and we saw a variety of bowling used by them as they tried to pin back Dre in the first game of the day. Taranjeet Singh will probably open the bowling with his off-spinners, but in the first game they took a lot of punishment, even bringing on the bodyguard, Pavel Florin, to try and buy a wicket in the 9th over. He was the only bowler actually not to go for a 6, but they conceded a lot of runs in the first game, and they'll have to bowl and field out of their skins to defend this target of 76. Philip Buckstadt.
Yeah, I actually loved when they bowled their president, Pavel Florin, the bodyguard, because he distracted the batsmen a little bit. As you said, they didn't score any 6 of them, and at that time, 6s were just flowing, and your voice was almost gone because of all that Maximo.
Well, exactly right. As the Cluj team come onto the field, and yeah, that innings when Ahmed Nabi got going and almost nothing seemed to stop him. And you'd have to take your hat off to the captain. He thought perhaps if everything's going, we'll bring on something a little different. And Florin, a Romanian native, he's only been playing the game 8 years, found himself at the bowling crease. And you'd have to say it was a respectable effort from him. I know his actions got a lot of attention from all parts of the world, but there he is on screen.
Big man.
He's a big man. I wouldn't be messing with him. Looks like he could be a world arm wrestling champion, Pavel Florin. But we've seen all sorts of cricket here at the ECL, but we have seen a lot of high-level cricket. We've seen some international stars on show. And the Danish batsmen enter the field of play. They're going to require 76 runs for the victory in match 9, and that will secure their place in the semi-finals.
And we see Jonas Henriksen here, and he is definitely looking to get some runs now because he got a duck in the first game, only 3 balls faced, so he's definitely up for some fun.
Only 18 years of age, Jonas Henriksen. What an experience for him to be batting in front of a global audience in over 100 countries, millions upon millions of viewers enjoying the ECL action. What a place for cricket. Beautiful day here in Spain, 27 and sunny. And opening the bowling will be Gaurav Mishra for Cluj.
And they're looking to get a partnership here as Zishan Shah and his brother Mats Henriksen were doing in their first game. Zishan Shah had a 35 and Henriksen 26. So now it's Jonas Henriksen facing the first ball.
So let's see if the Romanians can put their stamp on this innings early. They're going to need wickets. They're going to need to hold on to their catches and take absolutely every chance that comes their way. The run rate of only 7.6 required from the Danes to win this one. And they'll be very keen to secure their semi-final place if they can knock off these runs. All in readiness now. Jonas Henriksen will be extremely keen to get off the mark. And of course, Svanholm, they do have their third and final game tonight against Rotterdam. That's at 7 p.m. Spanish time, 6 p.m. GMT, and what a contest that will be. We're looking forward to that one.
And now we hear the countdown.
Gaurav Mishra, right arm over the wicket. The first ball of the Danish reply. Mishra, wide outside the off stump. Kind of nervous, swatted it from Jonas Henriksen outside his body, and very lucky not to get an edge, but it is called wide. So 1 run to the total. That ball will have to be re-bowled. Carbon copy this time. A little bit of in-swing, but it swung mostly after it passed the wickets as it went through to the wicketkeeper, Satwik Nadigodla. So back-to-back wides, and Phil, when you're defending 75 only, you can't afford to give the batsman any free runs. Well, we've seen some hat-tricks this week. We've seen mostly hat-tricks of sixes, but Gaurav Mishra perhaps trying to swing the ball into the batsman with that action. Just not getting the seam position quite right and not swinging it back in. 3 consecutive wides. Wrapped him on the pads. A big shout. Not out.
Must have been close. Must have been close.
And no signal from the umpire indicating he thought perhaps Henriksen got an inside edge on that. It was full. Might have been a little feather onto the pad. At any rate, it looked to be heading down the leg side. So no danger of dismissal there. It's going to be Zishan Shah to face his first delivery. It's a lot better from Gaurav Mishra.
It was an interesting start also for the scorers. For example, Judith van der Venden, who is scoring up here with us, next to us, because that doesn't happen a lot. Put 3 wides into the column.
Yeah, 3 individual wides, so 3 free runs for the Svanholm openers. Next ball, Jonas Henriksen struggling a little bit. That ball outside off stump. And yes, you mentioned the massive team working on this. The scorers, the umpires, all the production team, all the promotional staff as well. It's been a real team effort bringing this to you, and we hope you're enjoying the European Cricket League wherever you're watching on the planet. The next ball is full, is driven down to mid-off, takes on the fielder, hits the stumps. Not out, safely home, some thought of an overthrow there, but they don't take it, so they move along to 6 for no loss. Yes, and we've talked about the people here, Phil, but all the people around the world and the feedback we're getting of the kind of enjoyment people getting out of watching this tournament, where the players are very keen to represent their clubs and their countries. They're part-time cricketers, a lot of them. Next ball is full. The charge is on from Zishan Shah, driven to cover for no run. And I know I've got feedback from some of my friends in Australia saying they're watching it on Fox Sports and KO down there, enjoying it. My friend Will told me he was enjoying the coverage, enjoying the big hits. Next ball is driven down to mid-off, almost got through him. So after a shaky start, it was a pretty good over from Mishra. He only conceded 7, so if you take out the 3 wides, he only conceded 4 singles off his 6 lead deliveries. So after 1 over, Svanholm a 7 for no loss.
And talking of teamwork and all the partners that are here, we also have a hippie market for the spectators, which is also frequented, and a very good lunch and quite a good bar as well.
The bar is something that we sampled last night, and it would be rude not to.
Absolutely.
They did some pretty good hamburgers, and apparently the curries are very good here, Phil. We might be trying those in our game off. Now, they've resisted the urge to open with Florin, and they're going to open with Vasu Saini, the all-rounder. Well bowled outside off stump. Zishan Shah trying to cut. A little bit late on the ball. It was quite close to cut. Good intent from the batsman. But just beaten for bounce there. And a good start from the bowler. Next ball is outside off stump. It gets through the bodyguard, but it's well cut up on the boundary. A chance for a run out. Big appeal, but not out, says the umpire.
Good running between the wickets.
Well, it was. You know, they made an early decision that they were going to hustle and try and get back for two. A good throw definitely would have had him in trouble. He came back on one bounce to Saini. He took the bails off. He was safely home. And the bodyguard there with the sideways movement. But sometimes your muscles are too big and he couldn't get down in time. Next ball. Good bit of bounce there from Saini. Bit of movement off the seam away from the batsman, Zishan Shah. So a good start here in the field for Cluj. Still to concede a boundary. We're halfway through the second over. There's that one flying through to Nadi Godla behind the stumps. Only off a few paces, Saini. Next one's charged. It's pulled short and away over mid-wicket. And it's going to reach the boundary. It trickles into the ropes. So 4 runs, 4 carreras to Zishan Shah. And the first boundary of the innings for Cluj.
Would a dive have saved that one?
Well, it was an interesting one. It was just kind of going very slowly towards the ropes. The fielder put in a reasonable effort, but was beaten by the ball. The next ball is hit back. It's a chance of a run out. All action. Cue the circus music there as Zishan Shah looked to have the charge and like he swatted it back at Vasu Saini, who was caught a bit off guard. This will be a very interesting replay as we see. He wasn't watching as he hit it, and Saini was watching where he thought the ball was going to go. It came straight back at him. Lucky to get a hand on it, spills the chance.
But still,
chance of a run out. Next ball is bottom edged onto his foot. And they'll get away for a single.
But still a drop catch there.
Yeah, and we talked about the importance of Cluj taking every chance. So after 2 overs, a circumspect start from the Danes as they are 14 for no loss.
But no loss is also very important because they will get their eye in. And we see the bodyguard. He actually injured himself, so he's
actually coming off the field now. Pavel Florian does a lot for cricket in Romania. It's great to see him in the playing 11 and even the bowling crease. And he's just got a little bit of a lower leg complaint there with that bit of fielding. Born and bred in Cluj, what a great opportunity for him to experience cricket at this level. Oh, well bowled there from Mishra. As it was full, it went between the batsman and the stumps. And some early jitters here for the Danes.
So far, they can't make use of the power play.
Well, the power play, the first 3 overs, as you said there, Philip Bachstadt, only 2 outfielders allowed outside the circles. The slow ball this time is swung away, high and handsome over cover. It's a maximum. Fantastic shot there as Zishan Shah plays the ball on the offside where it was bowled. He picked the slower ball early, rolled his fingers on it in a leg cutter action.
Let's see what comeback he's coming up with.
Well, is he game to try the slower ball again? This is more regulation delivery and is swung away. Some clandy footwork there from the captain, Aaron Chandrasekharan, on the boundary as he pulled it back with his boot. The batsman crossed for 2. So a bit more of an attacking frame of mind here from the captain of Svanholm in the last over of the power play. This time it's charged. Goads Nadigotla into shying back at the stumps, but safely back. And it's 22 for no loss after 2.4 overs with 2 balls remaining in the power play. Mishra In again now, live. It's a good length delivery. Biting off this surface, coming back at Zishan Shah. May have taken him on the gloves there, as there was a little bit of extra effort on that one from Mishra. Bouncing and seaming back, hitting on the splice of the bat. So the last ball of the power play. How will Zishan Shah approach this? He goes down the pitch, up and over. Cover for a Maximo. Fantastic conclusion to the power play for Svanholm. They move along to 28 after the power play, and a really good shot there. An attacking option, still holding his shape. We've seen so many batsmen swinging across the line at almost anything delivered this week. So Zishan Shah leading from the front and sending that ball over the offside, over the ropes.
Usually have milestones as a partnership or even as an individual player where you say, I'll look at each 5 overs and see how many runs I can get. What do you think? Are there milestones in 10-10, or is that just too short of a format?
Well, I think in 10-10, you're aware of the rate, so as a batting team here, you're probably looking at 8 and over. Just to be on track, you wouldn't want to fall too far behind that. And you should be able to accumulate 8 and over with minimal risk on the field of this dimension.
So you take it ball by ball?
I think so, but just have to constantly be reassessing, knowing where you are in the game. Because sometimes these small scores, you can be a little bit too conservative at the start of the innings. And in the end, you're putting yourself under pressure as that run rate increases. What's required. Jonas Henriksen, smart bit of cricket there. He just cuts behind point for 1. Zishan Shah, who's been taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, he'll have a chance to be at the striker's end here to Vasu Saini, who is going to bowl out his second over. And Zishan he swings this up. Oh, it's high and handsome over extra cover. It's a Maximo. And the umpire wiggling around there. He was very excited about that. What a cricket stroke here from Zishan Shah. Nothing too wrong with the delivery. It was a length ball. It was on off stump. He just gave himself a little bit of room and caressed that ball over the cover boundary. Fantastic shot from the captain. Next ball is off the back foot, punched away to deep backward point. So that's the thing for Cluj. It's such a low margin for error. With this modest target of 75, we see they've been pretty good in the first 2 or 3 overs, but those 6s really going to hurt you. As the next ball's worked away by Jonas Henriksen, glanced down to the fine leg boundary. A nice shot from the youngster. That will be 4. Really nice leg glance.
And a guy like Jonas Henriksen, I mean, he's probably playing to his idol, Amjad Khan, who just finished his professional career in England in 2013 with Sussex, and he actually played for England. So there might be a chance that some scouts are watching him now.
Next ball worked away. Tight single, their captain backing his ability to make it down to the striker's end. He's very hungry to be back on strike. A single to Jonas Henriksen. And cricket in Romania getting stronger every year. More clubs appearing. Strong Indian connection with Romania. The final ball of the over. Zishan Shah is going to push it to cover and retain the strike. So after 4 overs, Svanholm are 42 for no loss. And Phil, cricket in Romania, as I was saying, we've talked about the Muara Vlasia ground outside Bucharest, and it interested me that there's a cricket history in Romania dating all the way back to 1893. The first game in Bucharest in 1893, and it was commemorating the Romanian Crown Prince marrying the niece of Queen Victoria at the time. So there is this history of cricket in Europe that has been played for many years in some of these parts.
Do you think Dracula ever played?
Well, I don't know if I'd want Dracula coming down at me. But funny you mentioned that, because recently they did hold the Transylvania Cricket League in early July at that ground. A lot of money spent on that ground. It's a beautiful cricket ground. Looks like Taranjeet Singh here is going to take up the bowling at the Las Lomas end.
Yeah.
Off-spinning delivery. Pushed down too long off by Zishan Shah.
Have you been to Romania?
I have been to Romania, actually. It's a lovely place.
Come on, boy.
My Romanian was poor, I'll be honest with you with that. But I had a really good experience there. It's a very interesting country, lots of history. And I could have used Pavel Florin when I was there, because I was in the middle of an argument in the Romanian karaoke bar, and I had no idea what anyone was saying, but it sounds like they took their karaoke pretty seriously where I was, in Constanza.
In the afternoon, of course.
Hung away by... Yeah, so at the halfway point of this over, it's been a good one from Taranjeet Singh. They've held him back. He opened the bowling in the first 2 games. The next one is pitched up. There's a chance for the fielder, but it gets past him there. Satbir 58 required now for the Danish team to win this match. It's well bowled. Jonas Henriksen ready for a run, but sent back by the captain.
We just saw the bowler actually stopping his action. How far can you go with the action until it's a no ball?
Well, it's generally not a no ball for something like that, but there is this trend of kind of stuttering in the action for spinners, just trying to upset the batsman's timing. I mean, if you don't let go of the ball at all, well, I suppose it's a dead ball and it won't count. But it's a subtle variation that has come into the game in modern times of getting into the action and just waiting a fraction of a second before swinging the arm over and delivering the ball to the batsman. New bowler at the Las Acacias end, it's the captain, Arun Chandrasekaran. Let's see if he can do anything about that. There's a good over from Taranjeet, only 6 conceded. Can Chandrasekaran back it up?
They'll need a breakthrough this over.
Under a runner ball now, the target. No. First ball on a length, patted back. And this is the thing as a batsman now, you really don't have to take too many risks at all. Even working it for the odd single and the odd boundary, and they're going to knock off these runs comfortably. This one is driven down to long on, and Taranjeet Singh, unfortunately, not able to cut that one off. He bowled very impressively in the last over, Taranjeet Singh, but just a lapse in concentration there. The ball was hit straight down to him at long off. This can happen, especially after an over. Just a little bit lackadaisical going down to field that ball. Henriksen drives this one down. Pizal does the fielding down on the boundary. And Romania and patches, they've been impressive in this game, but just those lapses have let them down.
Especially to your captain, it's not comfortable.
Absolutely, Philip Buckstad, very observant there. Misfields off the captain's bowling. He'll be wishing it was a bigger field, and he'd be wishing he could dig a hole and hide in it, Phil, if you ever misfielded one of the captain.
Or of the bodyguard, but unfortunately he's injured, so he won't be bowling.
Chandrasekaran again. This is an attempted lofted shot. It's in the air. And again, Satbir Gill. Close but not close enough as he gets it on the bounce. Concedes a single with 1 ball left in the over. 55 is the score. Last ball. It's up. It's up. Taranjeet fielded very well there on the long off boundary. He knocks it down on the bounce, but the batsman will get 2. So 9 off that over from Chandrasekaran. It was a good one. But after 6 overs, Svanholm a 57 for no loss.
But at least he made it up a little bit. His fielding era.
That's right. You know, it seems like the ball can be following you around after a misfield sometimes. So the pressure is on Taranjit there. It's a bit of a trek from the bowling crease all the way down to long off at the other end, but he did it. And after the shaky start where he conceded the boundary, he did well to cut the next one off. So he's back at the Las Lomas end to bowl his second and final over. It's well bowled, pushed through, fast off break. 1 run though, good running there. Zishan Shah alert to the opportunity for a single. So 18 required off 23 balls. Zishan Shah swings his way to the leg side. Into the gap, but they're content with a single. I've been impressed with Taranjit's bowling. He's varied his pace. And we talked about some of the bowlers that the Cluj team were forced to use in their first game. But a lot of their bowlers have done a lot better in this game. Keeping it tight. And this one was between bat and pad. The batsman was down the pitch and a missed stumping.
Just missed the bails.
So Satwik Natagodla, these aren't easy, I can tell you, as a wicketkeeper. When the ball comes between bat and pad, there's a lot going on. It takes all your concentration to ignore the batsman, ignore the wickets. You can't assume that the ball's going to bowl the batsman. The next ball is swung away to the deep mid-wicket fence where it's fielded. Just a single. Yeah, so keepers hate missing stumpings. They don't come across very often. You need to take them. Next ball is stand-up swept by Jonas Henriksen back to deep backward square leg. They'll get through for a single, and that's all they really need to do at this stage. With only 14 required now of 19 deliveries. Last ball of this over. Cut away, Zishan Shah, well placed. The chase is on. Aaron Chandrasekaran does well. Half a chance of a run out. Good bit of work there by Natagodla to gather that throw one-handed and break the stumps. But Henriksen was home. That's the end of the over, and after 7, it's 63 for no loss.
And Svanholm, they will have another game tonight against Rotterdam. We're all looking forward to this group final. And what do you reckon if Svanholm beats Cluj by 10 wickets? Is that a signal to Rotterdam?
Well, it's definitely a confidence booster for the Danes moving into that one. It'll be a very challenging game against VOC Rotterdam with their array of talent that they have had on display. But this is 10-10 cricket, and anything can happen as Chandrasekaran begins the next over. It's up and over the cover. Fieldsman. It was Muhammad Ahmed there who tried to get himself elevated, but he couldn't quite get high enough to cut that one off. It was only inches above his outstretched fingers. There's always space behind the infielders, and that's 4 runs. Next one is off the outside edge, spinning away towards short third man. And Zishan Shah gets through for the single.
Took his helmet off.
Yeah.
Not scared anymore.
Wanted to show that impressive head of hair on international TV, and why wouldn't you? Next ball is swung away to the deep mid-wicket fence where Vasu Saini does the fielding. So just singles, and that's all they need really at this stage, with only 7 more required now. This one stood up and bludgeoned through extra cover. What a shot from Zishan Shah, the skipper leading from the front. And that brings up his 50. 51 off 31 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes. Back live now.
3 required now.
Bowler! Gone for a single. Zishan Shah, the captain, saying, I think I'm going to do this myself, young lad.
But he knows he already has a 50, right?
Well, we'd hope so. Last ball of the over. Can it be this ball? 3 required.
Yeah.
And now he wants to go for the single.
And get
Experience. Zishan Shah. Now, will the umpire
piece of
go
fielding.
upstairs?
He goes upstairs.
Haven't we seen the stumps hit time and time again here in the European Cricket League?
Even from impossible angles. I mean, the throwing has been phenomenal.
It has been. It hasn't been a great couple of days to be a stump. Let's have a look at this. This is closer than you think. Just safely home. He just casually put the bat over the line. My instinct was he was home, but you never know with these direct hits. But that was experience from the Danish captain there, as he knew that he had the chance to hit the winning run. So he turned down the single off the second last ball of the over, thinking he could do it off the last. And almost exactly the same place. He was definitely taking the single on the last ball. Still looking at this one. We said it looks like his bat is down now and over the line, grounded safely. So I think that's not out, but the third umpire has disagreed with me on occasions. Yeah, not out for sure. But a good bit of fielding. Wouldn't you be kicking yourself if you were run out because you didn't stretch your bat? Although I don't know what's going to happen here. Sometimes the third umpire has... No, he said not out, so I'm very happy to open my account, agreeing with the third umpire. I did see one yesterday where we're a little bit puzzled, where the third umpire wasn't called into effect. So 74 for no loss. As we see there, belatedly.
Yeah, I think he really didn't realize that he was already on 50. That's why he wanted to have the last ball.
He's scoring so fast. It's hard to keep track sometimes. Zishan Shah, as we've got Sukran Sahi, comes in, and it won't be the winning runs at this point, as it's just a single. Takes the score on to 75.
So we're on a tie right now.
That's it. Those Svanholm can't lose this game. They need 1 to win. And there it is. Jonas Henriksen tucks away the ball behind square leg, and a clinical performance from the Danes as they pass Cluj's total of 75 without losing a wicket. They scored 76 for no runs, and they win with 10 balls to spare. So well done to their openers.
Yeah.
Zishan Shah ending up on 53 not out of 34 balls, and Jonas Henriksen contributing 20 of 16 balls, and that was a very clinical chase. Former German international Philipp Bachstadt, what did you make of the Danish batting?
Well, they never looked in danger. They played proper cricket shots, straight bat. We've seen some really wonderful shots, and well, they just let the scoreboard tick over and let the scorers do their job, and that was enough.
It was, you know, very, very professional the way they went around that chase. And we talked about some of the cricket we've seen in the European Cricket League, but let's not make any mistake that we have a lot of serious players at this tournament, particularly the top 2 or 3 players in each team. A lot of them played international cricket, and you see there the experience there of Zishan Shah, just guiding his team to the victory, playing classical cricket shots, not trying to blindly slog everything over the boundary. He knew what the rate was, and he knew what they had to do to reach that target of 76. So Cluj, they had their moments in that game, but you would have to say they were thoroughly outclassed by the Danes. So that does set up that big Group A clash tonight at 7 p.m. Spanish time. That's 6 p.m. GMT. That will be VOC Rotterdam against Svanholm, and they will jockey for top spot in Group A, and they will take on the second place team from Group B.
Some of the Danish players are definitely happy that they didn't have to bat.
Oh, absolutely, and they just casually acknowledging the opening batsman there as they walk off the field.
I mean, I would have loved to see more batting, some more of the batsmen.
Well, that's the only probably negative of a chase like this. When the openers get the job done, no one else has a hit, and I'm sure a lot of them would have been keen to get out there, especially with the big game against VOC Rotterdam tonight coming up, which will decide who finishes first in Group A. It's time now to go down to Urvash Yadav, who has the man of the match and the winning captain.
All right, so an easy win in the end for Svanholm. I've got the batsman who refused to get out today. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Jonas. And how was it playing there?
I was playing all right, a bit slow, some gripping a bit, but it was all right.
And an easy win does a lot for your confidence, right?
I wouldn't say it was easy. We were a bit under pressure to start out with in the power play, but I thought we came back well with the ball. And yeah, it's nice to get a win.
Yeah. And of course, yesterday, your elder brother, Mars, he was the man of the match. Yeah. You got a little bit of sibling rivalry going?
No, not at the moment. I think he's got one over me right now, but yeah. Hopefully I'll catch up to him later on.
Yeah, I hope so. And of course, you also play for the Dutch national team. Yeah. So a lot of that experience coming into play today.
Yeah, a little bit. Sean helped me as well, but yeah. A little bit of international experience always helps, I guess, but it's good.
And of course, in the end, you scored 20 runs, but that kind of betrays the fact that it was tough batting conditions.
Yeah, a little bit tough, but yeah, just trying to get a bit of touch. I was short on batting coming into the tournament, so it's nice to get a few runs out there.
Okay, well, I wish you all the best for the rest of the tournament. Thank you. And now if we can have the winning captain, Zishan, who we haven't given him a second to take his kid off. Okay, thank you very much. So, yeah, I know. How does it feel? Big smiles, yeah?
Yeah, actually, I'm just happy that the boys are really fighting for each other, and there's a good environment, so that is beautiful to play.
And the batting condition seems to have changed quite drastically. Ball not really coming so easily onto the bat anymore.
Actually, you can expect that because there's been playing so many matches on the wicket, so it will become slower and slower. So it will be harder to hit the big boundaries. You have to get used to the pace, and then it will be easier.
Yeah, because I remember at the toss you said, well, we just definitely want to bowl first because we don't know what the conditions are like. Do you think by now, the teams know what to expect?
We know better about which area we want to hit, and normally, we don't play grass wicket at home, so boys will be better and better for every match we are playing.
Right. And of course, there's a big match coming up towards the end of the day. It's versus Rotterdam. What do you have to say about that? It will actually place you either at the top of the table or not. That would play a big role.
As I said, we are going in a humble way in this tournament, and we respect every opponent, but we are going to play hard, but we still want to be humble at the same time. So.
Okay, now you can tell me the truth. You want to really beat them, right, with a big margin?
Of course, we want to beat every team here. So, and this is all about winning the trophy in the end. So, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, and we are going for it.
Okay. Well, I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much, and well played. Well, that's over to you guys.
Thank you, Urvashi. Thank you for the interviews, and thank you for this wonderful display of conservative batting in a 10-10, but nothing more was needed, Vinny.
Well, that's right, Philip, and sometimes it's brains over brawn, and it seemed that way today with the Danes. They had the superior experience of cricket at the higher level, and they were able to knock off that 76-run target with a minimum of fuss. But I have to take my hat off to the guys from Cluj in Romania. What an experience for them to be at this tournament, at this wonderful ground at Manga in Spain, playing cricket against, at times, very formidable opposition, but they definitely conducted themselves immensely well. They can hold their heads high. And so cricket in Romania on the up and up. I know there's a big connection in technology and IT between India and Romania, big influx of people from the subcontinent into that country. So the more that relationship builds, the more Romanian cricket, I'm sure, will grow. And it will be really interesting to see the Romanian team next year if they can perhaps snatch a win in the group stage. They also have the playoff tomorrow. We'll have all the finals tomorrow. There will be a 7th versus 8th playoff, and I'm sure that they will be playing for the win there against the 4th place team in the other group. So that is still their chance to grab a win at the ECL.
And of course, the organizers of the ECL, they have this idea of the Champions League of European cricket. The idea is to have something like the football, the UEFA Champions League. And the team behind is Thomas Klotz, Roger Feiner, Frank Lenders, and of course Daniel Weston, and what they do. And that will definitely give a boost to all the European countries, including Romania, is to give the development of cricket in Europe over 100,000 euros through this tournament. And we talked about Romania, we talked a little bit about the history, but now let's hear the interview that Urvashi did with the Romanian coach.
All right, I've got with me the coach of Cluj Cricket Club. Thank you very much for joining us, Mark. How's been your experience so far?
Well, as the sponsor suggests, it's been a dream.
It is a beautiful kit, right? Beautiful jersey.
It is, a bit small, but it's a cracking kit, actually.
You can't blame the jersey for that.
No, well, I'm sure I asked for a bigger size.
But obviously the level of cricket that we've seen here been fantastic.
Absolutely. And we've watched all the comprehensive highlights and everything as you know, a bit of a summary after each session, and it's just been such a learning experience for everybody, and you know, just want to make sure we get the championship this year as well and come back again next year.
Oh, that would be great. Could you tell us a little bit about the lessons you've learned, your experience so far, the organisation?
Well, it's the organisation that we've learnt most of all, I think. You know, we're going to take a lot of information back for the federation to consider in terms of, you know, applying some of the things we've experienced here and make it a standard. You know, it's been a good standard that's been set, and you know, if we can maintain that at home, then you know, we'll have a much better chance coming back next year and getting a couple of wins under our belts.
Yeah, that would be also great for the viewers to watch. And of course, looking at the competition at large, what do you have to say about the level of cricket that was being played here?
Well, I think everybody's been learning things from everybody else. You know, I mean, we've seen some fantastic bowling, some cracking batting, especially this morning in the first game. But no, I think, you know, we've all realised that, you know, every team has a potential to take something away from the game, and especially the format of T10, you really never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Any star players that emerged from your side for you?
Well, we brought Turan with us, and, you know, he's showed that he's got ability both with the bat and the ball. And, you know, we're just shame that we've been hit with a couple of injuries late on. Before we actually arrived here, so injuries from playing other sports, silly boys.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we see you next year again.
Absolutely.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to it.
Back to you guys.
And that was the story that was. Fantastic insight into Romanian cricket there.
Very
And
humorous guy.
Oh, he seemed like a lovely guy, and you see there's all this passion for cricket in Europe, and we've really enjoyed bringing you the action, all the characters. I mean, we saw Pavel Florin's over before, and I've never seen anything like that at the this kind of level of cricket. But you know, what a great opportunity for him to have a good. Now, there's been a lot of chat about our shirts, and I've got the cricket bat shirt here, showing what it's all about, and we've got Philip's shirt there. It's kind of, what would you call that, Philip?
Flower power.
Flower power there. So cricket, the game for everybody. We hope you enjoyed the game between Romania and the Danish champion Svanholm.
This is not only a jacket, it's a whole suit.
Oh, well,
you
yeah.
can't see it right now.
We've gone, it's very Mediterranean, the look I'm going for, that's for sure. But why don't we have a look at some highlights from the second innings. It was Svanholm who had to chase 76 runs down, and they did it with the help of a bit of a misfield there from Pavel Florin. Unfortunately, that ended his day. Half a chance for a wicket, but not out. That would be about as close as the Danes would get, as they had another opportunity there for a catch and almost a run out as well. Vasu Saini spilling that one. Came very quickly, but the occasional boundary is all that was required. Beautiful cricket strokes, keeping the shape and hitting the ball in the correct fashion depending on where it was. There it was again, over the offside that time. The Romanian bowlers had no answer. Unfortunately, Taranjit spilling that one on the long off boundary and conceding a 4. Another chance for a 4 there, as Zishan Shah barely made his ground as the end was nigh. Jonas Henriksson tucking the final ball of the match away for a single. And Philip Barkstad, that sets up a blockbuster clash tonight in Group A, and that's going to be VOC versus Svanholm. But before we do, let's just revise the scorecards for that game. We had the really more or less a one-sided game in the end, although it did go deep. We had Cluj, they were sent in, and they compiled 75 for 7 off their 10 overs.
Exactly, and of course Svanholm, very traditional, lovely balance of both batsmen. Zishan Shah with 53 runs, so he got his 50, didn't realize it at first, so nicked the strike at the end. But 18-year-old Jonas Henriksen with his 20 runs, stabilizing the innings, building a partnership with the skipper, that definitely made the difference. So he became man of the match.
Yes. So Jonas Henriksen, not only his contribution with the bat, but also his fielding, taking a great catch in the outfield. Romania, after a solid start, they were doing pretty well after the power play, and they were 48 at the halfway mark of their innings, but they lost their way. They lost wickets at regular intervals, and they staggered more or less to 75 from their 10 overs. It wasn't quite enough. Now, coming up next, we have a big clash between Janjua Breshua and St. Petersburg from Russia, and that's going to come up at the top of the hour in only approximately 18 minutes or so. So our coverage will be with you in around 10 minutes. So Brescia, yesterday, the heroics of Mohammad Jafri, who was hitting balls all the way around the field and over the boundary.
They're definitely the favourites, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know, you never know what's going to happen in T10 cricket. St. Petersburg, they'll be very hungry to have a win. They've still got that opportunity. This format is such an evener. One player can just have a blinder and give you the chance to carry your team to victory.
But I still think that from what I've seen is that Rotterdam and of course the Danish team that we've just seen, Svanholm, they have this balance when they bat. They have this calmness around them, not only in the field but also when they're batting. I think that makes the big difference. They are less agricultural when they bat. There are, especially in the middle order, the game tends to get a little bit cow cornerish. What do you think?
I think you're exactly right there. The experience makes all the difference at this next level of cricket. This is the highest level of club cricket that we can play in Europe. This European Cricket League, what a concept. But you're exactly right. Those players with international experience, the way that they manage their innings, they do hit the bad ball to the boundary and over the boundary, but in between, they are turning the strike over. They're playing the correct shot for the ball. They're premeditating less. And so that is the difference, and it's very interesting as we go into day 3 tomorrow and those final matches as we get close to finding out who will be crowned the kings of cricket in Europe. Those top teams, we're going to see who the cream of the cream of the cream is at this tournament. And for me, VOC Rotterdam, they've been pretty solid all the way through. It'll be very interesting to see how they go. They'll be sternly tested by Svanholm tonight, but then of course tomorrow in day 3 we're going to see 5 more games of T10, culminating in the grand final, the first grand final ever of the European Cricket League. And it'll be very interesting to see who can qualify for that and take out the crown.
And now it's Brescia against St. Petersburg. In only 6 minutes, we will start the broadcast with our colleagues, Michael
McCann and Ryan Campbell. There's Michael standing by. I'm sure Michael will be ready for your tweets. And it's going to be a great clash between Brescia and St. Petersburg. I know I can't wait to watch it. We hope we have your company. But from now, from La Manga in Spain, it's goodbye from us.
See you then.